What's going on, everybody? This is Buster. Welcome to Buster Plays. Today we're rebuilding the Las Vegas Raiders. After the news of them firing Antonio Pierce earlier today, I figured Mike Vrabel kind of seems like the best fit for the Raiders. You know, just that tough, put your head in the ground, run the football, just a tough football team. That's what I think of when I think of the Raiders. And that's what I think of when I think of Mike Vrabel. So let's get into this rebuild. Well, the best place for us to start is here at week 16. We have a lot of players to renegotiate with. We're going to start with Trevin Merrick, as he is going to be a player we try to keep. He is young. He's going to make a difference. Same with Nate Hobbs. Still only 25. Now, Robert Spillane can go. Jordan Meredith is young, and I think a 2-year deal is fair. And I'm not going to keep too many people around. This team is in need of a big, change. A lot of these players just aren't what we're looking for, so we will let we'll probably let all of them go and try to just rebuild in the draft and free agency. As far as looking at the lineup or looking at the team, Aiden O'Connell, who I think he was decent this year, fought injury, didn't get a steady run at play time, but he came in and made plays. Especially with the state of this offensive line, does not look good. I don't think it is good. So, run with that how you may. We're definitely going to need to focus some players in the free agency to try to rebuild this offensive line. Brock Bowers is incredible. Broke rookie records for receiving yards, receptions, all of it. Probably, honestly, almost the best pick in the draft outside of like a quarterback. Defensively, we also need a lot of help. We're losing a lot of these guys. The free agency is going to be huge because we're going to have to bring in some pass rushers and stuff like that. And don't want to spoil it too soon, but sadly, we probably are going to get rid of Max Crosby. And to finish out the rest of the year, we are going to make it somewhat accurate. So we are going to get a win against the Jaguars, get a win against the Saints, and take a loss against the Chargers. To keep it accurate, I hope we kind of keep the second overall pick. If not, we'll just have to trade up. And taking a look at the yearly awards, well, the MVP race, that is anyway, that goes to Josh Allen. It's kind of who we're assuming is going to get it this year, as he's been incredible. Coach of the year going to Andy Reid. They go 15-2. He deserves it. Honestly, my two runners for Coach of the Year is kind of Matt LaFleur and Kevin O'Connell. What Kevin O'Connell did with the Vikings this year, nobody knew the Vikings were going to be a top tier contender, especially with J.J. McCarthy getting hurt and bringing in Sam Darnold. I'm a Green Bay fan. I hate the Vikings, but that was impressive. And, of course, Josh Allen getting Offensive Player of the Year, who in real life it'll probably go to Jamar Chase. He is the Triple Crown winner. Defensive Player of the Year going to T.J. Watt. We have Max Crosby and Robert Spillane at 8 and 9. Do we have anybody on the Offensive Player? I doubt it. No, we did not. Offensive Rookie going to Brian Thomas Jr. Brock Bowers all the way down at 5, I guess. I think he should win it in real life. But it'd probably be Bo Nix. There's a lot of good rookies in this AFC side. Defensive Rookie of the Year, we're not going to be there. Best quarterback goes to Josh Allen, of course. Best running back, Derrick Henry. Nobody on the list. Best receiver, don't have anybody there. Best offensive lineman, not going to be there either. Best defensive lineman, nobody. Best linebacker, Max Crosby at 3. Best defensive back, nobody there. Best kicker, Daniel Carlson at 7. And we had a Philadelphia-Baltimore Birds Super Bowl where Philadelphia came out on top 31-17. Josh Sweat winning the Super Bowl MVP. Well, again, I don't think we're going to re-sign anybody. Spillane's too old. The rest of these guys are just old. Not going to focus re-signing them. We're going to get to the free agency and try and make some upgrades. Well, these are all the players we are targeting in the free agency. Cam Robinson, we need another tackle. Same with Will Hernandez. We need to shore up that offensive line. Jaylen Warren, because we do need a running back. He's young enough. Star Dev. Hopefully can hold us over for a little bit. Bobby Brown, we need to make some improvements on that defensive line. And that's why we also added Peyton Turner. Let's see who we get. And it looks like we got everybody but Jaylen Warren. I'd like him to sign too. We do not get Jaylen Warren. It's going to be Cam Akers is actually going to be who we're going to bring in. Offer him a 2-year. Not a lot of money. Well, I can't evaluate anymore, so we're just going to have to run it to the next week and see what happens from there. And we do get Cam Akers on, so we brought in some younger guys, 2 older guys, an offensive line, but that doesn't concern me as much. And then 2 young defensive linemen, a younger running back. So let's get to the draft and make our picks. Well, we're at the draft, and I'm concerned because we have the 6th pick. We should have the 2nd. I don't want to trade all the way up to get it. Actually, I take that back. All right, we're sending Max Crosby to Tennessee for the 2nd pick of the draft. Probably could have got more. We're cheesing a little bit, though. I knew we were going to trade him for draft capital. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Now we just got to make sure, okay, the Giants do not take Shedeur Sanders like they probably would in real life. So what we're going to do is we're taking Shedeur Sanders. There's a good chance he's going to Las Vegas with the 2nd pick. They're saying Tennessee's going to get Cam Ward, but who knows? But we get Shedeur, and we found our quarterback. All right, well, the best player, pass rusher on the board that we need now that we just got rid of Max Crosby is going to be Abdul Carter. So we're going to go ahead and bring him in. Hidden dev player. He's going to be awesome. And my draft screen broke, so that is a little bit of a bummer. All right, we're going to take Shamar Stewart here in the 2nd round. Just another defensive lineman. Hidden dev player. That's awesome to add to this defense. All right, well, Kyron Lacey is still here, and we need another receiver to give Shedeur, and we got, he's normal dev, but he's going to see the field. Our next pick is going to be Jonas Sanker. We need a strong safety. I believe he's hidden dev. No, he's just normal, but needed a strong safety. Going to be another good player. All right, and now we're going to take Ozzy Trapilo, a late round tackle, maybe somebody we can develop, but a hidden dev. I know we're getting a lot of boos. It's a bit of a reach, but a hidden dev player, you can't complain. Well, J.J. Weaver out of Kentucky is here, and again, we just need to keep adding key pieces to defense. A little bit of a reach, but I think J.J. Weaver is going to be really good. So maybe not in Madden, but IRL. You know what? Another tackle here, Xavier Truss out of Georgia. Just looks like a good spot to pick him. Normal dev, not a big deal. And with our last pick in the draft, our first pick told us we got to go get his brother, Shiloh Sanders. We get both the Sanders brothers. Welcome to the team. Normal dev, probably not that good, but he is he's our 7th round pick. Well, taking a look at the draft recap, I think we did pretty good. A lot of 70s, right? 570 overall players. Shedeur or Shiloh isn't as bad as I thought it is, 66 overall. I mean, Ozzy Trapilo, low overall, but high ceiling, I guess. 23. It's 23. But he has that dev trait. So let's get to. I'm going to get these guys plugged in. We're going to get to the start of the draft, or of year 2. And we'll see you there. Well, taking a look at the team before we start year 2. This is what it's looking like. Of course, we have Shedeur, Cam Akers, our running back. We're going to push to get one this coming free agency or in the draft. We need probably some more receiver help. We got Kyron Lacey this past year. Hopefully he can develop, maybe even get a rookie of the year. Don't know in this offense. Our rookie right tackle, who, I don't know, I think we'll be all right keeping the team the way it is currently. Offensive line anyway. Defensively, of course, it keeps benching Shamar Stewart, but we have him. I wanted Shiloh in there. This is what I want. I wanted Shiloh to play. He could develop. Our defense looks okay. We need some corners. We need linebackers terribly. But hopefully the D-line is better than previous years. And we always start the mid-season with our renegotiations or re-signings. I don't really know who to re-sign here. I don't know if we're going to re-sign Jacoby Myers. 28, almost 30 years old. He's going to start to regress soon and only star dev. It's really going to be based upon his production. Colton Miller, I do want to re-sign. We'll keep him around for the rest of the rebuild. Jack Jones is a maybe. Yeah, it looks like we're just going to be going into the free agency with $100 million. We also have a defensive back breakout for Jack Jones. If he can get this, we might re-sign him. And at the mid-season, we are 3-3. We did beat some really good teams. We beat Dallas and New York. Not that New York's really good, but we beat them. So I want to see how the team's performing. Shedeur's not doing too bad. 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Interceptions are a little high, but if he gets those down, we won't have an issue at all. Rushing, Cam Akers, it's not terrible. 4.2 a carry, 7 touchdowns. Receiving, Jacoby Myers leading the way, 441, 5 touchdowns. Brock Bowers taking kind of a step back. We may have to change Kansas City's playbook and get Brock Bowers more involved, as he is kind of the main guy in this offense. Not really going to focus on sacks that much. Defensively, Amari Burney leading the team in tackles. Christian Wilkins in TFLs. And Christian Wilkins in sacks. We got just not really getting a lot. 2 interceptions for Jack Jones, 1 for Amari Burney, and Jacorian Bennett with 1. Well, Jack Jones didn't get a dev trade, but we have another DB breakout here. I want to see who this is for. Shiloh Sanders. This could be big. 3 tackles, 2 pass deflections for a dev upgrade. If he gets a dev trait, really changes the trajectory of his Madden career around. Shiloh did not get the dev trait, but he gets XP. That can be looked at as a plus. We're not playing too hot right now. We're 3-5. Where does that put us in the division? 2nd. Okay, well, maybe we're not too bad. And we have another breakout for Shiloh Sanders. I would really like him to be able to get it. He gets 4,500 XP. Well, to end the year, we go 7-10. 2nd in the division to 10 seed. So we did miss the playoffs, but second year, you don't really want to make the playoffs in a team like this. You want to have more, you want to have higher draft picks. So not a big deal for us not to get it. And taking a look at how the team played, Shedeur Sanders, 4,100 yards, 37 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. If he can get that interception number down next year, He'll be in the MVP conversation. Cam Akers almost 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. Jacoby Myers, 1,300 yards, 15 touchdowns. If he goes up dev trade, we will re-sign him. Trey Tucker, almost 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. The rookie, Kyron Lacy, almost 800, 4 touchdowns. Brock Bowers, 6 and 3. Amari Burney leading the team in tackles. Christian Wilkins in TFLs with 18. And the rookie Abdul Carter leading the team in sacks with 4. Not a lot. And nobody really standing out with sacks, which is upsetting. Jack Jones, 4 interceptions. Nate Hobbs with 3. Burney with 2. 1 for Tyree Wilson. 1 for Bennett. 1 for Shiloh. And 1 for Jonas Sanker. And looking at rookie dev traits, of course, Shedeur is a star dev. We didn't have any others on offense, well, other than Trapilo, who has not seen the field at all. And defensively, Abdul Carter and Shamar Stewart, both star devs. I was hoping Shedeur or Shiloh could, out of the several breakouts he had, I was hoping he was going to be able to find a dev trait. And looking at the yearly awards, nobody in the MVP running. Coach of the Year, we are not on the list. Offensive Player of the Year, Jacoby Myers at 5. Defensive Player of the Year, we don't have anybody on the list. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Shedeur Sanders at 2. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Abdul Carter at 7 and Shiloh at 9. Best Quarterback, Shedeur at 5. Best Running Back, I doubt we're on the... Cam Akers at 8. Best Receiver, Jacoby Myers at 2. Best Offensive Lineman, Will Hernandez at 10. Best Defensive Lineman, not on the list. Best Linebacker, not there. Best Defensive Back, Jack Jones at 6. And Best Kicker, we don't have anybody on the list. And with a repeat of last year's Super Bowl, there's a repeat winner. The Philadelphia Eagles take down the Baltimore Ravens. Saquon Barkley winning Super Bowl MVP. And I wanted to take a look at how our dev traits, what was Trapilio? Was he just star? Yeah, he was just star, not a big deal. See how our dev traits moved around, and it doesn't look like they moved at all. Jacoby Myers really didn't go up. No, he did. He went up and then went down in the same week. It's your classic Madden. Defensively, nobody goes up or down. I want to see he did. Shiloh, if he gained and lost. Man, he's regressing. Why is he regressing? And we have our negotiations, and I'm not bringing back Jacoby Myers at 29. I know he's the best receiver on the team, but I'm hoping in the draft we can get somebody else. Jack Jones is probably going to go as well. He's just regressing. I really think I'm not going to accept Tyree Wilson's 5th year. Yeah, everybody else can go. We can find a cheaper punter and kicker. So I'm not super concerned with that. So let's get to the free agency. We got a lot of money, so hopefully we can bring in some big players. Well, this is who we're targeting in the first round. Romeo Dobbs, he's went up to star dev. He's only 26 years old. Should be a good addition to this team. Caden Ellis, we need middle linebacker help. I know he's old, but he's going to be temporary while we develop somebody that we draft. Jonathan Jones, we need another corner. Again, I know he's old, but he's just going to kind of be a veteran while we develop somebody. Nakobe Dean, I put in an offer for. Looks like we're going to have to bump it up a little bit. So we will do that. Offer him that. We have the money that puts us up top. And then a punter and Braden Mann. Let's see who we get. And we got Romeo, Jonathan Jones, and Braden Mann. We didn't get Nakobe Dean. Are we going to get Caden Ellis? We do not. So we didn't get any of our linebacker people that we wanted. Looks like it's going to be strictly draft for linebacker. Well, we have pick 9, so we're going to get to it. See who is available for us to pick. I was hoping we were going to have our kind of run at receiver, but it doesn't look like that's the case. Even though there are a ton of receivers here on the board, we could kind of just pick the best one. I do want to take a look at some defensive guys. I mean, this guy looks so good. Why is he a round 2 to 3 talent? You know, we're going to send it. He has all the letter grades. I'm not going to trust it. Hopefully he's a hidden dev. He's not. Okay. That's a bummer. All right, in the second round, we're taking Tommy Northcutt, a running back. We got to look to replace Cam Akers. Ranked at 9, hidden dev. That's a good pick. All right, J.R. Hall here is a middle linebacker. It's one of our biggest needs on the defensive side of the ball. Round 1 to 2 talent. Hopefully a hidden dev. Oh, only normal. All right, Malik Stewart looks fairly fast. Has a good spec catch. Has the letter grades. Hopefully, not terrible pick, normal dev, but we get us a physical receiver. All right, D'Angelo route. We need another middle linebacker. This guy is a scheme fit, so hopefully, not a terrible pick. Hopefully he can start. All right, another receiver here in Melvin Sloan. He's super fast. Maybe not just a normal dev, a punt returner. All right, Johnny Stout, 6'3", 201. Stout character. A kick accuracy. Kind of looked like the best kicker. Only normal dev, but look at the dude. 6'3", a kicker that's 6'3". Well, looking at the draft recap, we did make some mistakes. I think our only hidden dev is Tommy Northcutt, who looks like a good running back, probably take over for Cam Akers pretty soon. Jose Daniels probably should be looked at as a bust, unless we can get a defensive rookie of the year or something like that to give him a dev trait. And, J.R. Hall I thought was a classic hidden dev middle linebacker, and he's just normal dev, but he's going to start. He'll see the field for sure. Well, this is the team going into... I don't know why I keep doing this. Going into year 3, we've tried to touch up on the receiver position a little bit. I think it's only gotten worse. Added a rookie running back. Shedeur is here and playing fantastically. We have the offensive line. Looks to be in a decent spot. We could add a left guard next year. Defensively, I think, why does it keep doing this? I want Abdul Carter here and not over here, which means Tyree Wilson... It's going to be what it is. You know what? I'll put him up right here at the right outside spot. And Shiloh, I want starting. But other than that, this is just what the team looking like. It's not great, but it's not terrible. I do want the rookie route starting over Eichenberg and Burney. Just try to get as many rookies on the field as possible and get them developing. And, we have some players to renegotiate with at the midseason. And I don't know who we're going to even begin to try to bring back, if anybody. Bobby Brown's, we'll hit him with another 2-year deal. Outside of that, everybody can go. We will get better because we have not gotten better so far. We're 2-4, last in the division. We can turn it around. We just got to do better. And Shedeur, he's cleaned up the interceptions, not quite getting the pass yards this year, only 1,210 touchdowns. Rushing, Tommy Northcutt, not doing great, but there's a lot of carries going around there. Only 2 touchdowns. Trey Tucker leading the way in receiving. Romeo Dobbs just behind him. Kyron Lacey not far behind either. Defensively, J.R. Hall leading the team in tackles. Jose Daniels in TFLs. And Christian Wilkins in sacks. Shamar Stewart right behind him with 2. Jose Daniels 1.5. Some sacks to go around. Only 3 interceptions. 1 for Shiloh, 1 for Merrick, and 1 for Nate Hobbs. Well, I was curious if we had any dev traits. And, of course, it keeps benching Tommy Northcutt. I'd like it to stop doing that. And, we didn't even have any on defense. So I don't know why I'm looking. But the rookies are playing pretty decent. I'm hoping for a dev trait for J.R. Hall at the end of the year. Well, we finished year 3 just under what we did year 2. We go 6-11, still second in the division. Not quite good enough to make the playoffs. And Shedeur Sanders having a good year. 4,000 yards, 36 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Northcutt, it looks like he split carries with Cam Akers. We're just going to have to get rid of Cam Akers. Receiving, Romeo Dobbs leading the way, 1,009 touchdowns. Tucker Kraft, 1,006 touchdowns. Kyron Lacey, 900 yards, 16 touchdowns. Hopefully a dev trait to come. Defensively, J.R. Hall, 128 tackles out of the rookie. Hoping for a dev trait there. Christian Wilkins leading the team in TFLs. And it looks like Christian Wilkins leading the team in sacks with 9. Shamar Stewart with 6.5. Jose Daniels, 2.5. Abdul Carter with 2. 2 picks for Shiloh, 2 for J.R. Hall, 1 for Merrick, 1 for Hobbs, and 1 for Jacorian Bennett. And taking a look at the award winners, Shedeur Sanders at number 9 in the MVP race. We're probably not on the list for Coach of the Year. Offensive Player of the Year, we don't have anybody on the list. Defensive Player of the Year, yeah, still nobody there. Offensive Rookie, Northcutt at 2, and Malik Stewart at 3. He was one of the receivers I drafted. I feel like if Tommy didn't get half his carries taken away from him, he probably would have won. Defensive Rookie of the Year, J.R. Hall at 2. And Jose Daniels at 9. Best quarterback, Shedeur at 5. Best running back, we are not on the list. Best receiver, Kyron Lacey at 6. Best offensive lineman, nobody on the list. Best defensive lineman, Christian Wilkins at 10. Best linebacker, we're nowhere to be found. Best defensive back, not on the list. And best kicker, Stout at 9. And we had a Detroit-Kansas City Super Bowl where Kansas City came out on top. Patrick Mahomes getting another Super Bowl MVP. I'd like to see if we got any dev traits, and Kyron Lacey does not get a dev trait. He had 16 touchdowns. If he gained it and lost it, no, he didn't. He just didn't get it. I would have thought with that year he would have. Northcutt is a star dev. I want to make sure he didn't lose. He did not, so he's been star. Not terrible, though. Coming off his rookie year. Defensively, J.R. Hall goes up to star dev. Everybody else stays the same. Shiloh's just not developing. We really need to bring a cornerback in, as Jonathan Jones has started to regress terribly. The rest of our defense is finally starting to develop a little bit. Another middle linebacker, another corner, and we should be rocking and rolling. And we have $133 million and need to re-sign people. We're going to accept Brock Bowers' 5th-year option. Trey Tucker can walk. Michael Mayer can go. We're not overpaying Cam Akers. He's just stealing carries at this point. I mean, really, everybody can go. I don't see where Jordan Merritt, we can upgrade at left guard. Yeah, everybody else is free to walk. All right, these are the 3 players we are going after. Aiden Hutchinson, I'm going to move that defensive line around, and I'm going to make it unstoppable. Elton Jenkins, because we need a replacement left guard. And Clark Phillips. Let's see who we get. Well, that's successful. I'll take it. Aiden Hutchinson, Clark Phillips. That's improving the defense. All right, well, after hopefully the defensive line stays like this, but Aiden Hutchinson kicked Christian Wilkins into defensive tackle and Shamar Stewart on the right side. Corners, we probably still could look to draft one. Left outside, we could use middle linebacker. We could use. I'm going to stick with Shiloh. I want him to develop. He is not, and I don't know why. Offensively, until Kyron Lacy comes back, it's looking a little rough. We will look to draft a receiver, and we need a left guard pretty bad. Well, here in the draft, we have the 7th overall pick, so we're going to go ahead and get to that. We should be able to get, okay, the top receiver goes. All right, we're going with Christian Roach here. We need a receiver. He looked like one of the best on the board. A hidden dev. Welcome to the team. Well, this guy, Larry Kane, looks like the best offensive lineman on the board. We'll move him over to left guard. And he's a hidden dev. He's going to be a perfect fit. Well, it's middle linebacker time. Rob Bryant looks pretty good. Good enough. 2 to 3 talent. We're already in the 3rd round. And a hidden dev player. We fixed linebacker. All right, Virgil Hunt, man coverage corner, all C's. Maybe just a developable piece. Only normal dev, so probably not. This guy's interesting. A 6'5 playmaker. Doesn't look that great, but I just like the height. Yeah. I mean, looks like he could be moved to like a pass-catching tight end and be kind of dangerous. Well, it's draft recap time, and our draft does not look that good. Christian Roach, a 73 overall. Larry Kane, a 74. Like I said, we want to move this guy to left guard. All right, he goes up to a 75 overall, actually. Actually, I'm thinking about it. These are all hidden dev guys. We kind of lose it here, but no real concerns. Braden Young. I didn't draft this guy. I simulated it. Yeah, doesn't look great. We were just taking shots at receivers because we need one, but hopefully we get Kyron Lacy back, Romeo Doubs, and Christian Roach, and that's enough to kind of put us over the top. Well, this is the team going into year 4, and it's starting to look really good. Our offense is coming together. We got Kyron Lacy back. Christian Roach probably going to be a slot player, a speedster wide receiver. Romeo Doubs, of course. Tommy Northcutt, gonna hopefully not have to split carries this year. We added Kane in the draft, so our offensive line looks good. Brock Bowers, of course, a superstar. And defensively, we added Aiden Hutchinson and Clark Phillips to the defense. I really want Rob Bryant to start. He's a higher overall, so why he's getting benched, I don't know. And the rest of the defense is doing pretty good. Jose Daniels, I didn't expect to make it up to a 76, but I will take it. I really want Shiloh starting. I want to win a Super Bowl with the Sanders brothers. Shamar Stewart playing up to an 80 overall, doing good. Christian Wilkins, we bumped back into defensive tackle. Or bumped into defensive tackle. I'm not going to say back, but into defensive tackle. And threw Aiden Hutchinson at the left end spot. Hopefully that just gets us a shit ton of sacks. And I focus scouted corners. That way we can hopefully bring in some good corners in the draft this year to just button up for year 5. Well, at the mid-season, we have to re-sign some players, and Jackson Powers Johnson is going to be one we keep around. So he stays. Nate Hobbs, I'll keep you for a year. Christian Wilkins, can I do the same? I can. Even Cam Robinson. All right, so we got a lot of guys re-signed just to 1-year deals to try to get us to next year. Same with hopefully Will Hernandez. And he stays. We still have $50 million cap. We got these 2 guys. We'll probably accept their options and try to find another punter in the free agency or draft. And we're 3-3, but it looks like we're playing good. Where are we at? We're still lower end of the division, but I feel confident. We just need to get it together. I don't know how we're gonna get it together, but we'll find a way. And taking a look at the dev traits, we know Christian Roach is a star dev, already playing up to a 77, which is good. Kane is a star dev, playing up to an 80, playing pretty good. Rob Bryant, a star dev as well. I think those were the only star devs we had. I got to keep moving Shedeur or Silo. however you want to say it. And statistically, it looks like Shedeur's playing pretty good. 1,400 yards, 11 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Not doing great running the ball. Only 250 yards and a touchdown from Tommy Northcutt. Receiving, Kyron Lacy leading the way with 2 touchdowns. Romeo Doubs, 292 and 0. Christian Roach, 282, 6 touchdowns. Brock Bowers with 2 touchdowns of his own. Doesn't seem like we're throwing the ball a lot, or it's just that spread out. Defensively, J.R. Hall leading the team in tackles. Shamar Stewart leading the teams in TFLs. Aiden Hutchinson in sacks. I'd like to see more than 8 total sacks from this group right here. Aiden Hutchinson, Christian Wilkins, and Shamar Stewart. Feel like I should have more than 8.5 sacks. Jose Daniels with a half sack, and that's all. 9 sacks so far on the year. 2 interceptions, 1 for Senker, 1 for Clark Phillips. Well, in not so great news, we're stuck going 7-10. 7-10 or 6-11 seems to just be our record. I don't understand why we're not winning games. Actually, I think I have a clue. I think it's because of the rushing. But Shedeur Sanders, 4,100 yards, 32 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Tommy Northcutt got closer to 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. Receiving, Christian Roach leading the way, 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns. Kyron Lacy, 1,008. Romeo Doubs, 8 and 3. Brock Bowers with 7. Malik Stewart with 2, and Northcutt with 1. Defensively, J.R. Hall leading the way in tackles. Aiden Hutchinson in TFLs. Ooh, and I like these numbers. Aiden Hutchinson, 17.5 sacks. 9 for Christian Wilkins. 8 for Shamar Stewart. 3.5 for Jose Daniels. And, we don't have a lot of interceptions. Hopefully we can change that. Taking a look at the yearly awards, I do not see Shedeur Sanders in the MVP running. Coach of the Year, we're not going to be there. Offensive Player of the Year, we don't. Actually, Christian Roach is at 9. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Aiden Hutchinson, finally getting an award winner. Offensive Rookie goes to Christian Roach. You love to see it. Defensive Rookie, Rob Bryant at 7. Best Quarterback, Shedeur is at 9. Best Running Back, we're not going to be on that list. Best Wide Receiver, Christian Roach at 5. Best Offensive Lineman, we're nowhere to be seen. Best Defensive Lineman, we should have somebody here. Aiden Hutchinson at 2. Okay, it's a little blind there. I don't know what happened. Best Linebacker, nobody on the list. Best Defensive Back, not going to be there. Best Kicker, Stout at 3. He's developing nicely, it seems. And we had a Kansas City, Arizona Cardinals Super Bowl where Kansas City came out on top 16-10. Patrick Mahomes winning another Super Bowl MVP. And taking a look at our team and our dev traits, it looks like Christian Roach goes up to Superstar Dev. Still hoping that Shedeur would, but he never did. Defensively, Christian Wilkins starting to regress a lot there. Rob Bryant loses his dev trait. J.R. Hall goes up. And everybody else stays the same. All right, these are the players we're going after. Jahmyr Gibbs, Terry, and Arnold. Let's see if we get either one of them. We get Jahmyr Gibbs. Okay. I was really only hoping for Terry and Arnold, but it seems as if we have lost out, so we're gonna have to offer him a pile of money potentially, and we get both of them. We only have 34 mil, which is probably a bummer because we have, Shedeur is still on a rookie deal, but this is what teams do. They get a quarterback on a rookie contract and then build around them. Well, we have pick 7 again. That's kind of what we've been used to, so let's get to it. I think I know exactly who we're going to draft, and he definitely wasn't taken. Adding to the secondary, Gerald Marshall, a top 5 talent. It's going to be a corner 3, essentially. Ranked at 5. Normal dev, that kind of sucks. All right, somebody we're going to move to right guard here, and Lance Farine looks like the best player available, offensive line-wise. Ranked at 34, got him at 39, hidden dev. Well, we got to find a good power rusher to throw at that left outside spot. So we're throwing in Ron Samuel. He's terrible. That was a mistake. And Jordan Scott, a punter. Welcome to the team. That's going to close out this draft for us. We are going to simulate the rest, so let's get out of it. Now we can get a better look at our draft recap where we brought in a cornerback right off the bat. He's going to be good. Going to be a developable piece. And then a right guard, a good punter. Everybody else, not a big deal. You know, outside linebackers, when you need a power rush or a speed rush or some of the hardest positions to draft, just because a lot of times most of the good ones or what look to be the top ones in the draft are just not good. So this is the team going into year 5. Look, this is a Super Bowl caliber team. We may not have it at receiver, but we have 3 good receivers. We don't have we don't have a wide receiver 1, but we have a running back 1 and a potential running back 2. Shedeur, of course, elite tight end, a really good offensive line, and defensively, a really good defensive line, a good linebacking core that's getting better, and we just added some. I just want Shedeur to start. That's it. We added Terry and Arnold, of course, this offseason. Gerald Marshall. This looks like a Super Bowl team, and it should be. Well, we're not going to focus too much on the players that are ready to renegotiate, because this probably will be the last year of what's going on. We have enough money. We could probably keep Shedeur Stewart and Brock Bowers. Everybody else would probably go, and I wouldn't be concerned with it. And we're 6-1 at the midseason, which is really good. That's what we expect out of this team. I want to see how the team's performing. And Shedeur Sanders, 1,700 yards, 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That's pretty great. Jahmyr Gibbs, 524 yards, 5 touchdowns. Receiving, Romeo Doubs leading the way in yards. Kyron Lacey in touchdowns. Christian Roach with 2. Only 3 sacks given up so far this year. Defensively, J.R. Hall leading the team in tackles. Shedeur Stewart in TFLs. Aiden Hutchinson in sacks, of course. And the rest of the D-line not doing too crazy in sacks, but I expect that to turn around. And then only 4 interceptions, but I don't think teams are really moving the ball on us that well. Well, this team looks incredible. It's playing incredible. Jahmyr Gibbs playing up to a 99. Shedeur up to a 93. The receivers are playing up to the high 80s, almost in the 90s. The offensive line looks and is playing incredible. Defensively, we're playing good. Jose Daniels playing up to an 80 overall. Sanker is playing up to a 77. Hobbs is up there. It's just, this team is awesome, and we're here to try to make a Super Bowl run. And we went 13-4. We led the division. Look, we were 4th in rush yards on the year. 1st in opponents' points per game, 9th in opponents' pass yards, and 8th in opponents' rush yards. We weren't letting people score, though. Our offense wasn't great pass yard-wise. Taking a look at how we played, Shedeur Sanders, that's his, I think, least amount of passing yards. 3,800 yards, 30 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Rushing, Jahmyr Gibbs, 1,400 yards and 8 touchdowns. Tyler Northcutt stealing some touchdowns there, but that's a 1-2 punch. Receiving, Romeo Doubs leading the way, 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns. Kyron Lacey with 877 and 9 touchdowns. Christian Roach, 754 and 7 touchdowns. Brock Bowers even with 5 touchdowns. Not giving up a lot of sacks. Defensively, J.R. Hall leading the way in tackles. Shedeur Stewart in TFLs. Aiden Hutchinson, 21.5 sacks. Really turned this defense around. Christian Wilkins with 9. Abdul Carter, 4.5. Shedeur Stewart falling down there with 4. 3 picks from Terry and Arnold. 2 from Clark Phillips. 1 from a couple others. But it's time for us to get a start at this. Let's go ahead and hop in here. Try to take down the Cincinnati Bengals. All right, let's jump to the end of the game. hopefully we can take down the Bengals as we score first. We're up 14-7, 17-7, 17-14. Keep it going offense. 24-14, 31-14. And that number 1 point defense, well, I spoke too early it seems, but we still get the win. 28-31, taking down Joe Shiesty. And Shedeur Sanders, 17-27, 219 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs, 47 yards and a touchdown. Receiving, Romeo Doubs leading the way in yards. Roach, Gibbs, and Lacey with the touchdowns, though. Defensively, J.R. Hall leading the team in tackles. No TFLs. A sack for Shamar Stewart, a sack for Aiden Hutchinson, and an interception for Jonas Sanker. And now we have to take on the Bills. We have a slight overall bump on them. Let's jump to the end of the game. Hopefully we can take down this Buffalo team. So our offense struggles a little bit to get on the board. We finally score 7-3. 10-3. Can we keep it up? Our defense doing a great job here. 10-3. Our defense played fantastic. Low-scoring game in this divisional round. Probably super boring. Shedeur Sanders, 130 yards, 0 touchdowns, and an interception. Jahmyr Gibbs with the 1 touchdown on 68 rushing yards. Not a lot of receiving action, but Brock Bowers, 67 yards. Defensively, Jonas Sanker leading the team in tackles. A TFL for Christian Wilkins. A sack for Rob Bryant. No interceptions, but a solid defensive game. And in the AFC Championship, you have the 1 and 2 seed. Baltimore finishing 14-3, taking the 1 seed from us at 13-4. This is going to be a tough game, but we have the overall on them. And let's jump to the end of the game as we always do. See if we can take down the Ravens. We'll hop in if we have to, but our defense seems to be doing a good job. Our offense is moving the ball 10-0, 10-7 now. We need to 17-7. We score. Let's hold to it. 17-7. We take down the Ravens. And Shedeur Sanders, 170 yards, 2 touchdowns. Rushing, Jahmyr Gibbs, 74 yards. Did have a fumble. Christian Roach and Kyron Lacey leading the way with receiving touchdowns. Defensively, J.R. Hall leading the team in tackles. No TFLs. A pile of sacks. 2.5 for Aiden Hutchinson. 2 for Abdul Carter. 1 for Rob Bryant. A half sack for Terry and Arnold. And no interceptions. And taking a look at the award winners on the year. Of course, no Shedeur Sanders in the MVP shortlist. I do see Sam Darnold made it on the Vikings still, and Bryce Young on the Falcons is a little odd, but okay. Coach of the year, we do win. Finally, I don't even think we were on the list any other years. Offensive player of the year, we don't have anybody on the list. Defensive player of the year, I'm assuming we're going to have Aiden Hutchinson right here at 2, and nobody else on the list. Offensive rookie, we have nobody on the list. Defensive rookie, we don't have anybody on the list. Not a big rookie team. Best quarterback, Shedeur at 5. Best running back, Jahmyr Gibbs at 4. Best wide receiver, not on the list. Best offensive lineman, Jackson Powers Johnson at 7. Best defensive lineman goes to Aiden Hutchinson. Best linebacker, nobody on the list. Best defensive back, Terry and Arnold at 8. I misspoke there almost. Best kicker, Stout at 6. Well, a really solid year with some awards. We have to take on the Saints in the Super Bowl, but I do want to look at our developmental traits. And we don't really gain any going into the Super Bowl. Everybody on offense stays the same anyway. And defensively, it's the same. Nobody has gone up or down, moved at all. Everybody is just the same. Well, we have a couple overall on this Saints team, so let's see if we can take them down in the Super Bowl. Well, let's jump to the end of the game. See what happens here as they score first. Can we answer back? We do. 7-3, 10-7, 14-10. We answer back. 13-14, 16-14. But we have all 3 timeouts. We have 1 minute and 50 seconds left. And we're going to hit Roach in the middle of the field down to the 42. It's a good start to our drive. I'm going to try to make this the last drive of the game, too. As we're going to hit Kyron Lacey. Oh, we lose. I want to say Andres Pete, just because of the number, but I don't think that's who that was. As we hit Brock Bowers, try to run somebody over, but don't quite get it for the first down. Oh, we lost Jackson Powers Johnson. No, we lost Cam Robinson. All right, now we're getting close to field goal range. We can kind of try to run it with Jahmyr Gibbs as we only get a gain of 2 there. Try to burn the clock out, burn through their timeouts, and kick a game-winning field goal. As we get a gain of 4 there, burn their last timeout, and now try to come out and get the first down. As we do with Kyron Lacey. 30 seconds left. Oh, we got hit. We had Brock Bowers wide open. I'd like to switch this around. I don't really want to run at Brian Bresee, but I don't see a better way of doing it, as Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get a nice run, make it a 3rd and 1. We're going to call a timeout here. We got 2. I'd like to try to go for the end zone, but I'm not. Don't think I'm going to risk it. I just want to get the first. Oh, nope. Is Jahmyr Gibbs going to get it? And he does. Breaking the plane to the end zone. Leaves 14 seconds left on the clock. And gives us a 5-point lead. All right, well, they got 10 seconds left. We know they're going to try to throw it. Probably try to throw it deep, if I had to guess. They have Cam Ward at quarterback. I did not know that. As that's going to do it. You can't check down there. That's the end of the game, and the Las Vegas Raiders are your Super Bowl champions. And it wasn't a super pretty game for Shedeur Sanders. 242 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Jahmyr Gibbs, 62 rushing yards and a touchdown there at the end. Receiving, Roach, 66 yards. I had a lot of it on that last, I think that last, what was it? Yeah, that last drive, he hit one for 31. So that was huge. Romeo Doubs and Malik Stewart with receiving touchdowns. Defensive, did Ozzie Trapio played too much of that game. Defensively, J.R. Hall leading the team, 11 tackles, 1 TFL for Christian Wilkins, 2 sacks for Aiden Hutchinson, 1 for Abdul Carter, 1 for Shamar Stewart, no interceptions. And there is just the, re-show of it. We won the Super Bowl 21-16 against the New Orleans Saints. Shedeur Sanders is your Super Bowl MVP. And we'll take a last look at the team. Obviously you got to replace Cam Robinson. You need a new right tackle. The rest of the offensive line looks really good. It seems as Willie Hernandez has retired. Shedeur Sanders never got a depth trait that I wish he would have. We got 2 really good running backs. A good receiving core with Christian Roach, Romeo Doubs, and Kyron Lacey. The defense is the star of the show. Christian Wilkins, Shamar Stewart. Just an insane defensive line. A good enough linebacker core. Abdul Carter's good. J.R. Hall's good. Jose Daniels has been serviceable. Same with Rob Bryant. I wanted to have Shiloh as the starter the whole time, and he never developed. It didn't work out that way. The cornerback room we got straight at the last minute. We've kind of been good at free safety the whole time. Trevon Merrick, was there. He was playing good, doing his job. But adding those pieces is what really helped it. We drafted really well. We developed even better. And we won a Super Bowl. Yeah, see, this is how underwhelming Shedeur's really been. He's only won 2 Offensive Player of the Weeks. That's it. Throughout the whole 5 years. With about, as of right now, 15,000 passing yards. 16,000 passing yards. Probably close to 150 touchdowns. Really cut down the interceptions last year. Well, really good career for him so far, and he's got a long time to go. And Shiloh, the other Sanders brother, I mean, he did like 2025, 2026. I thought he was going to be able to develop, having numbers there, 50 tackles, 30 tackles, or 68 tackles, 42 tackles. But then Sanker just started developing faster and took control. Only 2 interceptions. None of that matters, though. He got to play with his brother on the same team and win a Super Bowl with his brother. So, folks, that's going to wrap this one up. Be sure to leave a like. Comment down below. Let me know what team you want to see next. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoy Madden Rebuilds. And until next time, have a good one.